Hey everyone, welcome to the Cinema Uncivilized podcast, where we, Josh, Drayden, and Daniel, give our uncivilized opinions on your favorite movies. She does not. She's wild. May I just say though, like I've seen clips that she played Call of Duty on streaming services, and just like they show her like just being a streamer. She's pretty locked in.
Nice.
The actor or Nikki?
Yeah. Indy Navarrete.
Seriously, she plays COD?
Yeah. I should show you a clip. She no joke is like locked in. Looks like super hardcore.
Dang.
And she also said she drives stick shift.
Okay.
So
Alright.
a lot of guys are like,
Dang.
a lot of guys are getting boners for that. You know? Do you see that?
Oh shoot,
You see her in the corner there.
dude, is that
Yeah, she
Roblox?
looks pretty-
It looks like really like,
No, it's Call of Duty.
dude, she's trying to like expand her viewer base for this film.
No, this was before though. I'm pretty sure. Has to be.
Oh shoot.
But yeah, she's actually really cool. It seems, which makes her even more desirable. To the point where men are putting in the comments, "I'd let her obsess over me," and
You
a
know,
lot
I
of the
was-
comments below are like, "No, you wouldn't." I don't think you do.
Yeah, when I was watching this film, I was like, okay, it's not too bad to have a girl like super obsessive over you. This wouldn't be too bad. And then it got progressively worse and worse. I was like, okay, maybe not. Maybe not so much.
Yeah, and we'll get into it, but I think it's just everyone loves it, it seems, and I think they love how they represented the story, right? Like, I think it's super easy. Actually, wait, we're getting into it before. People, we are talking about the movie Obsession, the number one movie on social media, technically, and like, it's probably the top movie of the month of May. I'm not sure money-wise, but it's already like such a significant success for its like $750,000 budget. Directed by Curry Baker, who is the son of an actor, by the way.
Barker.
Or Barker. But like his dad is in like a lot of TV shows and stuff. You might recognize him. But yeah, this premiered in 2025 at TIFF. I think it premiered, or South by Southwest, around there. And everyone loved it there too. So he talked about it. I think, Josh, you brought this up yesterday, that like he was just woke up the next day after it premiered, and several different production companies were after it, were trying to distribute it. And so Focus Features gave, what, 50 million or something like that? Like a ridiculous.
I think it was around like 16-ish mil.
Okay, never mind. My bad. But yes, a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, they were in a bidding war. A24, Neon, and Focus were in a bidding war for this movie, and Focus won the bid. So, yeah, it's crazy how your life can change overnight. You know, this Curry Barker was a YouTuber, horror filmmaker, making extremely low budget, $800 movies for free on YouTube with his buddy, who I should probably check his name, but he plays Ian in the movie. And he's also a co-writer as well, Cooper Tomlinson. Yeah, so they grew up, I don't know if they grew up together, but maybe they met in film school. And then they did these bits together on YouTube and dropped out and focused on that. And yeah, crazy. You know, what was the budget for this film? Like 780,000 or something like that?
Yeah, around there, I think. Which is super impressive because, again, so many movies are made with much more money and they don't look nearly as good. And I think we'll talk about just how like awesome this movie looks consistently. Just like even the color grading, the shades, the style of like how they showed horror as well. Super awesome. So I guess we'll start, I think Drayden saw this first. You saw this in Ireland first.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I saw it the day it came out. Well, I don't know when it came out, but it came out at the IFI May 15th. Is that the same time it came out worldwide?
I think so because it's May 24th today. So I saw it on Monday, and that
Yep,
would have been
May
yeah.
15th, 2 weekends ago. Yeah.
So that's so interesting, Drayden, because I saw it on the Monday, and I was like, all right, well maybe we should review this, and I saw that you already reviewed it, and I'm like, awesome. Well, he's on the ball too, without even communicating about it.
Oh yeah, man. I saw the trailers leading up to this. I was like, I gotta make time for this film. It's such like an interesting concept. I was so curious to see how they'd go about it.
Hmm. And I had heard all the buzz from everyone seeing it that it's like it lives up to the hype. Don't don't fall for that. Like people are praising it and it doesn't end up living up to it. Like they said it would, and I'm like, alrighty, well, I'll give it a shot. And I guess I was even impressed at just how much I really liked the movie. And again, I'll say like anyone I've talked to about this movie loves it. So it has already just been, I don't even know, I know it's not like making $500 million, but just like the success of the word of mouth that's been received about it, and that'll just continue. And I mean, besides just being a cult classic, it'll probably even just be a classic in general for the horror genre at this point.
Absolutely.
I'm just looking up to see how much money it's made already.
I think I've been seeing it's
Internationally is
like
different.
100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made approximately 80 mil worldwide,
Okay. 80 mil.
which is
Yep.
insane.
Well, it's not. I don't even. Well, it's more. I don't even know how many times that is. 100 something times, right?
Yeah.
It's budget, and I mean, we talk about that all the time, and that doesn't measure movie success in terms of like what it's showing, but I think it's a testament to like what good filmmaking can do. Because like what a movie like that should maybe, even if it made $10 million, like that's a huge success. So it's yeah, it's an achievement in itself. Um, yeah, let's dive into the experience. Drayden, was there any moments where you thought, "Holy crap," and you nearly crapped your pants?
Well, as I wrote in my letterbox, like I honestly have no idea why I even bother going to the theater to watch horror movies because I'm basically closing my eyes the whole time. But there was like that one pop out that really got the whole theater when they were just, I forget the main guy. Oh, Bear, and he's sitting there with Sarah in the car, and just like out of the
Yeah.
blue, she just smashes her face in the window. That one like scared the crap out of me because I thought I was safe for a little while, but it really got me good, man.
Yeah.
No, Josh said that as well. Like, first time you ever screamed in the theater for a horror movie? Is that how you put
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. No, exact same thing, Dre. Like, you think exactly you feel safe because you feel relaxed. You know, Sarah, she's so chill and calm. They're just vibing, listening to music in a car in a parking lot, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, this window smashes, and I just went ah, like like it was yeah, scared the crap out of me, and there was lots of scenes that I was like put me on edge, like I didn't like it. The one that was really stood out as well was the what's the verdict? Cat at the
Oh,
sandwich
yeah.
and the
Holy cat
music
Sounds
shop.
gross.
Oh, or the sex scene too. That was just like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's touch on that one actually because I saw, and luckily we're in this era where there's just so many interviews out on social media. So in terms of like research for this movie, it's just a lot of TikToks I saw because they did I don't know how many interviews. But Indy, the actress, she mentioned because they asked her what was the most difficult scene that she did, and she thought I think she thought it would be like the ending or something like that, or she thought the party scene would be the hardest one because of all these people, but she said that it was kind of easy because everyone was so nice and all that. So she actually said the hardest scene was the intimate scene because she's trying to convey like her sounds are pleasant, but her face is the opposite because she's like moaning out of enjoyment for Bear, the whatever you want to call it, demon, whatever is like in her. And in reality, like Nikki itself is like crying because this is absolutely like not what she wants. And I mean, not to say it's rape, but it's like essentially to the point where it's an assault of some kind on her because that's not what she wants. So she said that was the hardest one to do, and I would agree that I actually didn't notice she was crying, but apparently like Nikki is crying in that scene. Yeah. I guess just to add on to that as well, the main thing I knew going into it was that the director said he really tried to emphasize how she's the victim. So that totally changed how I viewed the movie. And I guess, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like they were trying to show us this. And man, Nikki really didn't have any choice in all that. So as much as she is like the villain of the story, like in terms of what she does, in reality, Nikki is the main victim of the story because it's not what she wants to do and causes pain, a lot of pain and harm to her life.
Well, what were like the instances that made you think Bear was the victim? Like, were there any specific scenes that you felt, I don't know, bad for him or necessarily, or was it mostly just like pity?
Well, I think it's easy just because of how the movie's going that you look at it like what's going on and you're like, dang, this dude is like trapped. This dude can't even breathe. This dude can't. So I would say that it doesn't always cross the mind of this is what you get. It kind of gets to that point. But, at the same time, I wouldn't say he does anything that's so obviously like I hate this guy until afterwards. Until afterwards you realize like, oh shoot, like even the montage I thought about this when the in the montage where they're having fun or like the relationship is getting going and
Mm-hmm.
you see him having fun with Nikki who isn't actually Nikki. He literally like you think of that and you're like, that's just like almost evil. Like that's just not her. That's not what she so he's totally taken captive of it. And I mean a scene everyone points out is when he asks to change the wish or like just alter it but not cancel it or not get rid of it, which he couldn't anyways, but it's his language, like the way he says things. You'll notice that that's like yeah, he's the one causing all this pain for her. And so I would agree that yes, like he's not the victim, but he is the victim of or at least just like pained by what he's caused. So I don't know. It could go both ways. Like I will say everyone will. It's obvious that he's almost the villain of the story himself, but you'll definitely at the same time a lot of the fear comes from we're worried that he's gonna die, or we're worried that something bad is really gonna happen and it happens to him. I think that feeling is still there.
Right. Yeah, no, it's interesting because I watched this 2 times, and the first time someone asked me afterwards, like, who I thought the problem was, and I didn't feel like I could give like a reasonable answer or a critically thought out answer until the second watch. But the second watch, it just becomes so much more obvious that this man is like acting on a very fragile ego. Like I remember one scene where she's freaking out. She said that she's never been herself with him, and he's like, "What makes it so hard to like me?" And you're like, "Oh, okay, this guy is like he's got some real self-esteem issues that are driving this relationship."
Yeah, and that's like he's walking out and she asks him to kill her, Nikki, because she's suffering. And yeah, he puts it out like, well, what's so bad about being with me? And it's like, what? That's what you're saying at that time?
Mm.
Like, it wasn't, and, I think this goes into the ending where he still is not totally committed to getting rid of the situation. Like, he's going to kill himself and he can't do it. And even up till the very last second, he was about to, he's about to get back out of it. And so he shows that he's just not daring enough to commit to the right decision, if that makes sense. He constantly is doing something that avoids him having to say the truth or doing something related to the truth about his situation.
Yeah. Very easily first time watching this, I got the vibe that okay, yeah, these guys are both obsessed with each other. Obviously Nikki, it's not her true self, but Bear is obsessed with this girl, and like you guys were saying, low self-esteem, you know, he's the issue 100%. You know, he even when he wanted to he called the 1-800 number to alter the wish. I'm pretty sure actually he's a little Easter egg here too. That's Curry Barker's voice on the phone talking. Yeah. And he says, well, like, I mean, this is your wish, man. Like, don't you feel like you kind of have moral responsibility to, you know, be there for her? And so, yeah, I think that was kind of a reality check for him. He's like, okay, yeah, this is kind of my responsibility, my doing. Yeah, let's kind of make this work.
Yeah. Like, it's just really, it's a play on a very common scenario for a lot of guys where we're a little bit nervous to ask out like the girl we truly like, you know? And I think that's like a scary reality that a lot of guys maybe would, if they had such an option to make the girl they like them by not their own their own choice, but by your choice, they would do it. You know, I think I like the movie for sharing that train of thought. Like, a lot of guys are scared to say what they want to say, me included, for a time being. Like, I remember this little story. Like, in middle school, I was into this girl, and I would constantly message her on Facebook, like, oh, like, meet me after class at this like portable. And I would do that constantly, and I would never have the courage to actually ask her to be like, you know, go out with me in like middle school terms. And there was one time where I messaged her and she was like, no, I'm not going to do that because you keep telling me and then you never tell me the truth or never tell me what you want to say. So it's kind of, ever since that moment, I learned like, well, I'm just going to like learn to not be afraid to say, you know, what I want to say.
It's funny that you say that, because weren't we talking like one of the past episodes that you in high school were just flocking with the ladies? Like, yeah, there's like girls on your side.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm not trying to make it sound like I was just, because I'm not a tall person. I'm not like the most, like, I don't have that going for me, but I certainly was chatting and like to a fault almost. Like, I felt I couldn't be alone. So I was always trying to talk to someone almost out of like a need to feel like I have this power or control of like, I'm a guy that can get women. Like, it was almost like that. So, and then funny enough, when I tried, like, I had that train of thought that that's what I was doing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try and just like seriously like hone in on dating one person. At that point in time, I actually probably was talking to more girls because I don't know. I guess that personality trait changed, but definitely after the mission, I came back and I was like, one person. I'm only interested in fully dating that. So I would say that's like a whole other, like, running away from an insecurity almost.
Yeah. Well, something I find interesting about this film is that I feel at those some points, like it isn't just black and white. Like obviously we agree that Bear is the evil one in this situation, but there are like some scenes that show this societal pressure to act in a certain way. Like at the very beginning, Bear, this is like the only time that he like fully expresses his emotions, even though it's like a role play scenario. And Ian just like completely laughs in his face. Like that's like the worst thing that you can do. And then there's like the other scene in the bar where Indy's character, I forget her name, but she basically like calls out Bear's pina colada combo because it's like he's in touch with his feminine side. So it kind of takes on this idea that this insecure masculinity is not from like it's like a social problem as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. I just want to touch that. Like, did you think and you've seen it twice now, his buddy, and now knowing that he was messing around with Nikki for a time, do you think he was sabotaging Bear with his advice in the first scene?
Honestly, I think I
probably.
do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he tells him like to be mean, to say things that like, and that's a true point. Like a lot of guys that are these like pickup women type people, they try to find something to poke a girl with or a woman with, just to get their attention, or at least to just be like, I'm not the nicest guy, because factually women kind of are seem to be into that to a certain extent. But like Bear, his immediate thought is to jump to something that's really deeply hurtful to Nikki, and that's the Freaky Nikki name. So that advice did not help whatsoever before the wish, of course.
How did you guys like that scene though when he was dropping her off? I really liked it. She kept coming back, crouching down,
Oh,
going back,
yeah,
seeing the silhouette.
dude, I gotta say that was one of my favorite scenes. Like, I feel like in that moment you knew that she actually liked Bear, and you're like, this whole situation could have been completely averted if he would have actually just said the words he wanted to say.
Yeah, no, I think she definitely thought he was a nice guy, and he just totally butchered it. And then he does the one wish Willow, and I mean, actually don't remember. Was there a shot of her coming back from outside, or you just hear her door open, and then you just see the silhouette of her like standing in the house, like on the porch, just looking at him?
I don't know if she ever went back inside. They
Okay,
didn't show
he
it.
did it. He
Yeah.
did it before she went inside, and like, so he cracked. Yeah. Oh no, I think she did go inside. But anyways, the shot like of her just looking at him, and he's even freaked out. He's like, "What the hell's this?" So it wasn't like the movie just like has. I feel like if this movie was super cliche, it would be that he wakes up the next morning and she's like knocking at his door and she's just a totally different person. Instead, you see like right away, and it's kind of almost freaky. Like Bear is like, I don't know if I like this. Like this is because she isn't immediately like jumping on him, but she is trying to work her way into.
At what point does Bear realize was this one wish Willow real? Or do you think he was kind of in denial? Like maybe he acknowledged it and realized something was different, but he was kind of denying it out of denial. But then I guess at what point do we was like, okay, this is legit.
I think the one scene where they're having dinner together and she's like, "I love you so much,"
Oh yes.
and he's like, "Do you love me more than anyone in the whole world?" And she's like, "I guess so," and you're like, "Oh shoot, that's exactly the words he used."
And what's funny is that was still near the beginning of the movie, so he continued even though he knew that something was wrong. But you're right that he was, yeah, a bit naive. People were trying to tell him something's wrong with her, and he's trying to act like he doesn't know what's up, right? Like that scene where they go into the music store first day afterwards, and they arrive together, and you're thinking, oh, he banged her, he did it. His friend said that, and he's like, no, but like he was just trying to act like she was being weird, even though in reality he knows what he did.
And then the whole time she's blurred, but you can tell she's looking at
Yeah,
them
I
the
actually
whole. Oh
loved
my
that. I knew it was
goodness.
gonna happen
Oh.
too. Yeah, show how obsessed she is.
The craziest
Didn't you
thing
guys?
is
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Drayden, go
most
ahead.
No, yeah, you guys go. Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
Josh,
like
go.
most of, at least until she started getting super crazy, like kind of the way she's acting is like a lot of girls are actually like that.
There's some crazy women. Yeah, for sure. Um, and well, I saw a funny TikTok about like how like there's like half of the women in Scarborough that act like that. Just wild. But yeah, definitely. Of course, that's not truly how she acts, but there's some crazy women for sure.
Something that I thought was hilarious throughout this film was just the whole idea of the One Wish Willow. Like, you never know if it's like, I don't know, like they play on it so interestingly. Like the person at the counter, he's like, "Oh, I use my one wish." It's almost like a Reddit thread the whole film. Like there's the people that are absolutely in denial of it. There's those who completely believe it. There's just like this polarizing opinion on it.
Thread it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. There's not much. We're not given much information, and that goes for like a couple things, right? Like we don't really know how Nikki came to be. Like, was there a possession scene in a way where she like the camera's not showing it, but she like body moves weird. We don't even know how that worked. Um, and then yeah, the One Wish Willow is this anomaly. I mean, you can use it in a way for good. Like you can get $1 billion and that's it, and call it a day. But like saying things in a specific way will have negative effects, even if it's not you're not wishing death upon someone. So it's a cool concept, and they're real, right? Like this is not something that was made up for the movie. Like One Wish Willows existed before this movie.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Let me look it up. I feel like there's because it talked about being a collectible. Mm,
I think I
nah,
might have
never
wrote.
mind.
I
I'm
think I.
wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah, so it's the original to the story then.
Yeah, I think it's original to the story.
Well, I think I was telling Daniel this yesterday, but Dre, you know how Longlegs had that like marketing thing where they had the number you could call it and you called it and it was like a bunch of just like heavy breathing.
Oh, dude, that was scary. Yeah.
So, they this movie Obsession kind of has having a similar marketing strategy where you could buy these One Wish Willows, and I clicked on the link, went to the website, and they're all sold out, of course, but they also had the 1-800 help number to call, and so I called it the other day, and it was a Los Angeles number. I was worried. I'm like, am I gonna get like charged for this? But I didn't think I would, but I answered it and it was the same. It was like the same message from when Bear called, and it was like, oh, like, pretty much just it was Curry Barker just saying exactly what he said in the movie about, oh, your one wish, like giving him like all the rules and stuff. But yeah, it was that. I thought it was pretty fun.
Mhm.
Nice.
I loved the touch of like, do you want to talk to her? And it's just her screaming.
Oh, that was so scary.
Yeah. And he just hangs up. And I
Oh,
think, yeah, anyone would. You'd be like, I don't want this to be real, and just hang up.
well, here's a question for you. Do you think that the screaming was her actual person or the possessed person? Because I wonder if he's like the devil freaking caging these like people in hell and she's just like, I don't know. That's just something that came to me now.
Well, I actually did think about that. I was like, is this supposed to be the devil? Or like, I thought the people at the front counter as well. Like, are these like, is this the devil? They show this like very like monotone, not all that exciting woman. Or
Right.
she's not monotone, sorry, but she just like doesn't care, or like she was on the phone, right?
Yeah, she was really
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, that sucks. Like, imagine going to a store and just like this person could not care less and they're just on the phone. Like, could you at least, if a customer comes in, you put that to the side? Anyway, um, yeah, so I think I did think about that the person on the phone was sort of like the devil character. And yeah, I think it's the actual Nikki, and she yeah is just trapped in I don't know what abyss. I mean, they referred to it like sort of as like a get out sort of thing, where she's like
Mm.
she's there but she's not there, right? And so yeah, I think that's what I would. I was almost interested to see if they would take us there at one point, if we'd get to know what it's like, and especially when Bear becomes possessed, I was wondering at that moment quickly if we were going to see the two of them like in this purgatory to end the movie.
True.
Oh, dude, I was actually kind of hoping that the film would end there, where it's just them two in their state of euphoria, loving on each other. Like that would have been a good ending.
I thought so too for a second. I was like, "Oh, no way. Like that's what they're doing." And I thought that yeah, like you end it there and makes you wonder just like what would happen if you put two people that are so obsessed with each other and leave them there, and you're left with that thought of like what are they going to do? Um I don't know if you guys knew about the ending. I'm sure you might, like, if you watched videos on it, you might. But the original ending, and they actually shot it to be the original ending, was that once Bear passes away due to the drug overdose, that Nikki wakes up and she actually kills herself. That was the original ending for them.
Oh man, I feel like that would be too much, man. Like I don't know if I'd be able to handle that.
Yeah, I guess they thought the same thing because they only did one take where she stayed like alive and was screaming like that, and they had the end credits. And they thought, yeah, the people around him thought that this was like a more powerful ending, and I would agree. And so that's what they stuck with in the end.
Well, I remember people also saying that I don't even know what an NC-17 rating is, but I guess it's really bad.
Yeah, it's above. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be
it's like
above an R.
yeah. And so if they had left that in, which I think they had that in when it was at TIFF and the film festivals last year. Um, but yeah, I guess I don't know if it was like studio pressure that they're like, oh, you got to take it out. But Curry Barker was talking about he was so nervous taking that out because of such the good reactions that they got at the film festivals that he was worried, oh, if I cut this out, like, is it going to take away from the magic at the end, that feeling you get? But it seemed like it worked well, like you said, you know.
Yeah, I thought that might have been referenced to as well. I read a comment that someone said the scene where she is bashing Sarah's head into the brick and the steering wheel. Apparently, it goes on for longer. That's why it was NC-17 before that.
Okay.
Like
Damn.
apparently, maybe 7 or 8 more times you see her put her face in there.
That
was
was probably the most
Yeah,
disturbing
sorry,
scene of the whole film, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what's so like makes it even worse is just that like this vicious dog comes and just takes her and does that so quick, and then immediately after like, oh no, no, it's okay, we're good now, and like he doesn't even have time to think about it. It's like we're gonna have to bury him together, okay? We're gonna like it's like what the frick, and you have no time to really like take it in. And then you know what? The movie had a lot of restraint because I think it could have gone even crazier, but it's almost scarier that it didn't, and it leaves you to think, well, what the hell happened? And what I think of is the ending. I was so worried for the ending. I thought this movie's freaking creeping me out already. That like usually the ending is this big like boom, and I mean, maybe she starts turning her neck around her face or something like it. Something crazy is gonna happen. Just crazy enough is that like you don't even notice until a certain point, and you see that like Sarah's body is in the kitchen, and the face is gone, and they're saying that she had Sarah's hair.
I
I don't
heard
know.
that too. I heard that too.
I don't know if that's like she wore her actual hair. The dress is the same dress from the party, I think.
And the tattoos too. She had the same
Yeah, she
tattoos as
started.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she started drawing tattoos on herself similar to Sarah. Um, so that freaked me out, that alone, and I'm like, oh no, I don't know where we're going with this. And I mean, scary enough, you don't see it, but it's definitely like Tony Collette level of like hitting your head on the door when he's in the bathroom. Yeah.
You know what? You know what scene probably scared me the most, aside from that jump scare, was when they're in the room for the first time, and she's like just in the background, and she like starts crying, and her face becomes like very distorted. Dude, anytime I close my eyes, that is what I see. Like I am still freaking terrified of that, man.
The first night after watching the movie, I no joke like wanted to just be in bed, and like I didn't want to go get up to use the bathroom or anything like that because I was terrified of like obviously that's not going to happen, but just the imagery or the feeling of it. I'm like, no. No, 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 no.
Yeah, the thing that scared me the most in real life was, so I went to a 9:50 show, so I probably didn't get out of the theater till midnight, and parking my car in the driveway, turning the car off. I was so scared because being in my car with the light on, looking outside my windows, I just see like dark reflections, and just thinking about that car scene got me so like I was like, oh, I gotta get out. I like got out of my car and just like booked it as fast as I could to my front door. Oh man,
And it's
so
dark. It's dark when you go down to your
yeah.
I would be freaked out. Yeah, no. No, 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 no. And like I watched it during the day, which I guess was good to my effect. And but yeah, imagine you're just like in your car and you're scared to look to your left.
Yeah, yeah.
Which by the way is a great touch in the movie where
Yes.
like she mentioned that like, oh, like, I was on your left.
Yeah, it
And
was to your
then
left.
Nikki comes crashing in on the left to Sarah.
Yeah. Sarah, what was crazy too is, if he'd never have done this, like he could have had a really good normal relationship with Sarah. She was into him, and it seemed like they had a good thing going. Yeah, that's not how things worked out, obviously.
Oh, you know what I want to touch on is like the surprise of Andy Richter being in the movie. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Yeah, that was a surprise. And then he's the father of the Sarah character. That was funny. Yeah, like I think the whole lesson almost is like it happens a lot. Maybe we have this friend, she's into us, but we're not into her. But we're really good friends. But it's just not there. And so like instead of focusing on that, we're focused on something that's kind of like unachievable in our heads. It takes people a long time. We're married younger per se, and so we've been able to lock in on that. But I think there's probably guys our age who are still dancing around of like the idea of not really settling down with your best friend. You're almost like after people who just give you a bit more of an empty relationship, or just you're not all that compatible. You just find her attractive, sort of thing.
Well, yeah, now that you say that, it kind of reminds me of like the whole fear of temporality that is kind of in the film. Like they talk so much about time. And then obviously he's
Oh
like
yes.
living in his grandparents' house, and there's just like there's just this looming idea that death is kind of around the corner, and you should just like grow some balls and yeah, ask out your friend kind of thing. So I thought that was kind of a funny touch. But did you guys get the whole time thing? Like, what did you think about that? If you picked up one.
Yeah, I did notice that actually. I noticed right from there was like that phrase kept getting repeated, right? Like, oh, like Nikki's like running out of time, or she's got like no time. I can't, I'm butchering it, but was it something along those lines, Jay?
Oh yeah, yeah, no, that's exactly it. Yeah, and at the
Yeah,
start,
yeah.
Ian
I
is
did
like,
notice that. Yeah.
he's like, you have all the time in the world. And then it just kept showing like the
Yeah.
weird cat clock with the freaking eyes moving back and forward. And did you guys notice when Bear, he was allowing Nikki to sleep in his bed, and he's like, you take all the time you need, and the clock changed.
Hmm.
Did you
Oh, I
notice
did
that?
know. Okay, I made a note of that. I was like, yo, this said it was like 10 o'clock at night, and then all of a sudden it like switched and it was like 3 in the morning or something. I was like, what the heck? I did notice that. Thanks for bringing that up because I forgot about that. But I remember being confused about that.
It actually said 16 or like one of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. 16. You're right. Yeah, yeah. It was. I knew it was like something different though.
Someone, by the way, someone tried putting it together that 1653 had something to do with a huge historical event. I don't know if they went that far
Mm.
into it, but I think, yeah, someone was trying to say that it had to do with like slavery or something like that. And I'm like, would this be the movie that they bring that up? But it says, yeah, let's see. I don't know. I don't know if I can find the exact thing that the person was talking about. There's definitely a lot of theories you can find on the internet. I think I saw one even where it was debating, is she possessed or is it something else? And the guy was trying to argue that she's not possessed. So I don't know. I don't remember anymore what he was talking about, but just like a lot of
Right.
interesting discussions that have come from this movie.
The thing I love about Curry Barker or whatever his name is he like inserted that integral theme, that like the changing of the clock, as soon as Nikki takes off her shirt. So like if you don't notice that that point, it's because you're a little too focused on Nikki taking off
You're
the
locked.
shirt.
You're locked in on it.
Yeah.
That is true. It wasn't until like I just kind of noticed it. Like there's not a time where like the clock is just you see it change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. One thing I also noticed was beginning of the movie, they're in the bar, and it's Nikki and Bear sitting at the bar table, and it kind of pans out, and it just said Barker's Pub. That's all it said. Nothing crazy, just Barker's Pub.
Nice.
Yeah.
What me and Drayton shared, what scenes freaked us out the most? What scene freaked you out the most, Daniel?
Oh, I'll share one we haven't talked about. Is that when he comes back home from being away all day, and he just turns on the lights, and she's still there with that
Oh.
smile,
Oh,
Dude.
and she's dripped in sweat, or she'd pooped and peed all over the floor, and I don't know, like any body fluid probably came out of her for I don't know how long he was away for. And that was pretty bad. And it's just thinking about, wow, like she actually just stayed there that whole time. But yeah, like the bedroom scene for sure is I'll bring it up again just because I didn't notice her the first time, but I had a feeling that's what was happening.
Right.
But I really didn't notice her like the first shot of it, and then they go back and then they show the second shot, and then I'm like, I tell my wife, I'm like, she's there.
in the corner. Yeah. Doing her little
I don't
stop
like
motion movement too.
Yeah. Oh, like when was it that she like is doing like the robot almost across?
Oh.
When she like goes in reverse and like
Well, that's a different one. There's
Okay.
another one where she is like walking, or I think he came home and she's just like
Yeah, that
moving
was when
like
he
this.
like saw the shrine, and like that was like close to the very end, I think.
Okay. Yes. Oh, I have a question actually. Now I brought it up. What is the goal of her and the cat? So first she brings it back into the house and has like a shrine for it and like was like, "Oh, this is nice for like getting past it," or like
Yeah.
and then she feeds him the cat. Like what is she trying to tell him, do you think?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I really have an intelligent answer. Like, I don't know, that's a pretty tough one.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? He loved his cat was all he had. He was a cat person. I don't know if it was his grandma's or what, but it was part of his family. And yeah, I have no idea either, but some sick and twisted stuff going on there for sure.
Yeah, I feel like because it happened with other things as well, where there's a bit of a shrine going on, and she, or at least this whatever's possessed her or whatever is in Nikki that's making her so obsessed, has this idea of death that is different, where it's something that like can be celebrated essentially, or something you respect. And I don't know with the eating of the cat if that had to do with her like trying to say that we honor the cat so much that we eat. Like I don't know if it might be part of the whole weird satanic world of it all, where like you worship things by indulging in it almost, or respecting it that way. Because I'm
Right.
thinking, I'm like, she wouldn't do it out of spite, like because she doesn't hate Bear. Like she's not trying to do anything to disturb him. So she actually thinks it's like a kind thing to do, like putting the cat meat inside of this sandwich.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because I almost felt as though, like what you're saying about death, that I thought that it was like a sign of the actual Nikki trying to get through to Bear, like that death was almost like a method of freedom. Because remember when she like asks Bear to kill her, I felt as though throughout the film, death was seen as like an option of freedom, essentially, from this possession.
Yeah,
But
I can see that as well. Yeah,
yeah, I had a question.
yeah, in the end, it's interesting. Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't have anything.
Did you guys think that? I mean, Nikki, like the possessed Nikki says that it was never Nikki the whole time that he's been with her. But there are times where she like freaks out and you almost get a glimpse of like the real Nikki. Do you think there were other points in the film where it was the real Nikki, or because I feel like there was, but I don't know because it doesn't match up with the narrative that they were trying to go for.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the scenes where she's like trying to kill herself immediately make the most sense as to like that's her there. I mean, we talked about the intimate scene. Clearly, she's still reacting, like even, and maybe even like the dreams thing, where she's like
Mm,
crying like that. Maybe that also is like the real Nikki. Um,
right.
I think like I think the argument was like that she's a part of it still. Like she can see it as it's happening. And
Ugh.
I realize I'm trying to remember when exactly he makes the phone call to cancel the wish or alter it, and like she's screaming like that. I don't Was that when she like he had left her for the whole day? Like maybe on the inside she was screaming because of how much pain she was in from smiling like that and like having seizures or having like, oh, who knows what happening to her for standing like that for so long. I feel like maybe yeah she's just part of it as it's happening, but only when they show her like freaking out is when she has full control again for zero point 0.2 seconds and then it goes away again.
Right. Because when
Yeah.
she's like, oh, yeah, you go, Josh.
Well, yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, I'm not too sure. Um, those scenes, yeah, like she would kind of snap out of it. Even when the scene that comes to mind that was kind of the most intense was when they were at Ian's party, and because she snaps out of it then, right, and then she smashes her head in with that glass thing.
Mm-hmm. Breaks the bottle, starts like stabbing herself.
Is that Nikki trying to kill herself, or is that the demon?
I think it's Nikki trying to kill herself.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Trey?
Well, yeah, like going off that scene that you were just talking about, I almost felt when she was telling the story from that Jenga piece, like she was telling what she was
Oh,
writing.
yes, yes.
It felt like she had gone through like three different persons. Like I don't know, I felt like it was Nikki, then it wasn't Nikki, and then it was like some other weird demonic thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to listen to what she says again to see like what she means in this poem or story that she wrote.
Would you say that you were able to pick up on this your second watch, or like what things did you notice or pick up on your second watch versus your first?
Um, I think that was a big one. Like, how come anytime she looks at Bear or like is seriously looking at Bear, she like freaks out? And like, what is it that she sees in Bear that makes her do that? That's like one of the questions that I currently have. And then, yeah, I was very curious about like this whole robotic movement. Like, what does that necessarily mean? And I don't know. There were a bunch of things that came around the second watch, but I almost feel like I need to watch it a few more times to get it really nailed down.
Yeah, that's true. I'd like to be able to capture definitely some little movements here and there because as you said, you're kind of watching with your eyes closed a little bit because you're so scared of seeing what is trying to horrify you in the whole movie. So maybe yeah, having clothes like gone like this a little bit and like peeking around. It's a bit terrifying, but now knowing what happens, maybe I can watch it and like just raw dogging it, like sticking my head to it in a way, like just knowing what's coming. I did just want to touch on the party scene just because of how funny it kind of was. Like the whole like he goes to tell her she's in the shower and like I'm going out with the boys tonight. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you better stay home, buddy. Takes her anyway. And then the whole kiss the person on your left thing, she just stands up immediately. And we just like, we're worried. We're like, what does this mean? And then they just get the hard cut to her face and the pout that she has on. Like, imagine seeing that as just a normal person and in the party. You're just thinking, this girl's crazy.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
and then
pulling the chair was funny, pouting the lips. Yeah, it was so good.
she's like trying to
Go
play it
ahead.
off as a joke.
Yeah, something I'd say about like the Nikki, whether she was possessed or not, was the like constantly testing the waters as to what is acceptable or not. Like will notice that maybe Bear didn't like this, and she'll try and like backtrack quickly. Um, I think there's a few times where she would say something and he'd be like, "No," like, or his face was getting a bit disturbed, and she's like, "No, I didn't mean it like that," or just the manipulation of even trying to say her dad had cancer at that point, right? Like Bear just wasn't totally convinced into taking her home to his place or talking with her a bit further, saying that she should probably just go inside, and just like the constant altering of things so that she can be what Bear wants or what she wants to hear, and just making sure he sticks by her.
Oh, I gotta say, guys, that just like talking about this film has really got me feeling like I'm scared, man. Like to get down to my room in this house, I need to go outside in the dark, and I don't think I can do it.
We apologize, Drayden.
One thing I wanted to highlight was the score and the sound design. That really the abrupt, loud, like brrr, those scenes, it really just amplified your emotions and the intensity. And I really liked kind of the style of the editing, especially when they're at that restaurant. He gets the phone call from Ian and he's saying, Sarah's like talked with her. I checked with the hospital. Her dad doesn't have cancer. And then it's just like him standing like in the aisle there, like straight faced, that because he's realizing, okay, shoot, like, yeah, like this girl is possessed. And it's like the music that's playing in that scene in his moment of realization is just like so scary.
It
Or when they're having sex, same kind of vibe, right? Like that
was abrupt. Yeah.
like it was in no way at all like, yeah, it was just so
hmm
scary.
I realized like in that phone call, right? Like, why is Ian looking so hard into it? And it's because he's like kind of jealous. He's like, is Nick? And he questions this. He's like, is Nikki doing this to get back at me, or like to do something? Because they were hooking up on the side, I guess, for a while, and so he wasn't totally committed to her, but had kind of this possession of her. And now that she's not interested in him like that, he's like, well, what the hell is this? So that was interesting. And I just wanted to point out the hilarity. People have been making fun of like, or making jokes about him getting killed so quickly. He's like, yo, I got $1 billion. Open up the door. And just how quickly she just grabs the. Because whenever she did something, it was super quick. It's just like crazy. Like just utter craziness. That's for sure. I guess another thing to touch on is his like suicide, or just like his attempt to kill himself scene. Like, what did you guys think of him like having the gun first and then going to the drugs, or even just that, like the foreshadowing of the cat to him? Like, what does that even mean? You know?
Pansy, he's too scared, he can't do it. I saw a letterbox comment that said, like typical male, even in the face of death, they'll still be the most selfish person in the room.
Yeah, yeah, that's just it, right? Like he's aware of how wrong it is now, and having seen the two other closest people to them die, and he knows that it's only going to get worse. He can't shoot himself, and then he does the drugs, and it was actually the actor who played him, who played Bear, that suggested that he tries to like get it out. The reality of the original script was that he's just supposed to take the drugs, and then the one which Willow snaps and he just gets up. But like adding that extra scene of he was actually going to make himself throw up, and then she snaps it, like added this whole extra character of like, yeah, there was no redeeming quality to this guy. He legit would have maybe continued into this relationship even though she did all these crazy things, which again feeds back into who was really obsessed. It kind of was him, without the One Wish Willow, because he's willing to. And I told this to Jaleesa, my wife, as well, after the movie. Like, why did he keep going back? Like, why isn't there a scene where he's just driving off and not returning? He's driving all the way to Montana or whatever, just never looking back and just constantly running away from her.
Mm-hmm.
But he chose to keep going back, even though she was freaking the hell out of him, because maybe he kind of liked it that in the end he still has her by his side.
But do you think that like the fact that he didn't kill himself almost shows his own self-obsession? Because to me it kind of presents that he didn't actually love her. Like he wasn't willing to free her from this curse and kill himself, even though he knew that was the only option. He was just like so self-obsessed that he couldn't do that for her.
Yeah, I'd agree that like that's also part of it, where he didn't, did he really love Nikki? And that happened in that big conversation where she is like, I can be Nikki, I can do more, or like, I can't be Nikki. And he's like, just be normal, be Nikki. And it's like, he likes the idea of like Nikki. And again, it really has to just do with the attraction. Like, he loves the way she looks, and he's well aware that she is pretty much like out of his league and a big catch. And he likes the idea of having her, but it's not really her. It's not the conversations they have. It's not her. So how are you really having a relationship with her? You're not. So in the end, I think he just likes that idea of being with her, even though it's not the reality. So yeah, he also just loves himself more than he loves her, because he wants that for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's like best presented in the scene where he's having sex with her and there's like absolutely no pleasure on her end, and he's just like not aware of that at all.
I said to Jaleesa like that he's just basically using her as a sex doll.
Yeah.
The movie Companion is kind of goes into that, where she has this feeling for him, but yeah, he just views her as this, and it is what it is, right? Like, he purchased this girl, and I think it feeds into the same idea that men, honestly, like, could care less. Like, they'll get the blow up doll of Sydney Sweeney and go crazy with that and be happy with it. Or those that we've talked about that have relationships with AI bots. Like, it's not even about a real loving relationship. It's just getting the satisfaction of having something and feeling in control of that.
This movie actually reminds me of that one Florence Pugh movie with Harry Styles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry, darling.
Yeah, I feel like they have very similar themes actually.
You know what? I've actually never watched it, or I've watched maybe first 5 minutes and I didn't get past it. I was aware that it wasn't well received, so that probably played into it. But actually, I haven't watched it.
I actually watched that on the plane. I watched that on a plane once. I wasn't crazy about it, but I definitely agree with you, Jay, and I feel like definitely similar themes. Guys in control. He chooses a life that is not good for the girl. And, she has no control over her life essentially, and it's crazy because it's kind of like, think of the no, don't worry, darling. It's kind of like the Matrix, Danielle. You're living in this carefree world when in reality it's literally like you're taking like some drug, and yeah, like in real life it's like the complete opposite, disgusting, like super poor. Yeah, not ideal, but yeah, no.
Excellent. Alrighty. Well, I guess based on time, do we maybe want to share our like final thoughts, just solidifying why we like the movie, and just sort of just any final thoughts we have about obsession.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. Is that you farting?
Just slipped out, man.
You sitting on a wooden chair?
No, that was real.
That's the real fart. Yeah.
Oh man.
No, all good. All good,
Oh man. Okay, someone else is gonna have to go first.
Okay. Yeah, no, Obsession. I think it's a really great original story, and to be able to have a movie that is low budget and to be successful is really inspiring. And just the whole story behind it, I think it's really creative. It's just such an interesting idea, and it's told in such an interesting way. And I really loved the ending of this movie. Like, it really pulled everything together. I loved the fact that she took the one wish Willow and made him obsessed with her. Like, just two people obsessed, and just like loved it. Like, panning out the whole house, all their friends are dead, murdered, and it's just them two like making out. Oh no, I guess he does die. He does die in her lap, whatever. But yeah, it's just interesting. Um, we talk about how she is. Um, it really is just goes to show that relationships. There's more to it than just looks, attractiveness. The personality. Right? Nikki wasn't there. Nikki was a different person, and so you can't. It's hard to have that relationship with someone who's completely different from the person that you knew and were originally attracted to. Um, but yeah, and like I said, sometimes it's hard for guys to like talk to girls, but yeah, just don't go around wishing for some girl to love you more than anything in the world. I think that's something that a lesson we can all take away from this film. Don't take away someone's free will to love.
Yeah, that's definitely free will. Yeah, there's no free will from her. Um, just the movie really surprised me. I knew it would be good, but I figured it would still have like that smaller film feel, if that makes sense. And it really doesn't. It honestly, like, just really exceeded expectations for the budget it has, number one. But then, I mean, I'd love to know the lighting, like who did the lighting on a lot of these scenes. Like, we didn't even touch on it a lot, but the amount of scenes where we don't see her face.
Yep.
It's really
Yep.
all about like the silhouette. I've even seen TikToks from the stylist of the movie. She's done a lot of TikToks talking about like the decisions that went into the outfits. What does that represent, right? Um, and so there's this just like a lot of little touches that everyone has kind of picked up on that really enhances the story. And I mean, we didn't even really hone in on like Indy Navarrete and her performance. Like, a lot of people are trying to say that this is an Oscar worthy thing. If Amy Madigan for Weapons got her
True.
Oscar for her performance, they're like, well, this is certainly worthy of that. And I think everyone else does a pretty good job. Um, and I love, so the lighting really stands out. The cinematography, I think, is fantastic. And it really helps the story. It really helps bring the horror into life. And I think I was telling Josh yesterday, like, it's not the scariest movie, if that makes sense, but the depression and the really dark feeling that you have after it ends is sort of what lingers more. And because before the movie starts, they have the trailer for the new Insidious one, and it looks pretty scary for me because
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty scary, right? Like,
Yeah.
the it's just constantly scary imagery. While Obsession, it's more so about the fact that we're scared for whatever she does next. Like, we do not know. We do not know what's coming next, and that just shows me that the movie does a great job of continuing to be unpredictable. And I mean, I didn't even really get into it, but I was thinking about like what would be a cliche script for this movie, because I think there are many ways that you could do this movie in a worse way than what Obsession does. But they made a lot of good decisions for the movie. Um, and so yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. But honestly, like, everyone's talking about it. It I looked up on Letterboxd just to see like where does this rank in all-time horror films. And as of right now, its star rating is up there with the greats of The Shining and The Thing. I mean, The Thing is, I think, the highest one, honestly. But just a lot of the top horror movies of all time. I think Psycho has a higher rating as well. But just stuff like that, like, it's up there. and maybe that will stand the test of time 50 years from now, where people look back and they're like, the movie Obsession is a horror classic.
Yeah.
I mean, a 4.2 for a horror movie is insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ditto to what you both have said. And I would almost compare Curry Barker to like an Ari Aster like director, where he just like understands the horror conventions so well that he's able to play with them in such a unique and strategic way. Like, this film was so subtle in so many ways, and I think that's why I'm like freaking peeing my pants up here, scared to walk out to the dark. But yeah, honestly, I'm very excited to see what Curry Barker has come next.
He does have a movie in post-production already, actually. So it's coming, let's see. It's coming soon. It has Aaron Paul from Breaking
Aaron
Bad.
Paul. Nice.
Yeah. And I feel like that guy, he's going to be put through a lot of anguish, because that's sort of what he does, like his roles. And he's also going to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about
that'll
that.
be good.
Yeah, it's called Anything But Ghosts. And it has Aaron Paul, it has Bryce Dallas Howard, and it'll be, Jason Blum. So it'll be released again through Blumhouse and Spooky Pictures, it says. And yeah, it was already filmed, $5 million. And yeah, it wrapped on April 11th. So it's expected to come out in 2027, I believe. Yeah. So that's super exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. So Drayden, if you need like us to be on call with you as you go through, go outdoors and into your room or whatever, like, we're here for you. We understand. It's definitely a movie. I warned people. I'm like, look, if you're gonna take your girlfriend, you got to make sure that they're like, they love horror. Otherwise, this is just gonna be a very depressing, saddening watch.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
Daniel texted me right away. He was like, yeah, not good for Sarah. I was like, okay, that's good to know.
Well, I took my 17-year-old sister to see this film, and I feel like I've ruined her life.
Well, was she truly freaked out?
She actually ended up sleeping like alone that night, so I think she's like all right. But I don't know, man. Like, this is a pretty dense movie, so I'm curious how she's doing, because she's actually in a camping trip right now, which is like, of all places, a scary place to be thinking about that kind of stuff.
You should have watched the Blair Witch Project with her before I go camping.
Gosh, dude.
This movie Obsession actually joins that prestigious group, right? The Blair Witch Project, of having a super crazy low budget and just making an absurd amount of money.
Paranormal Activity as well.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity, yeah. Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. Though most people don't, like, the Paranormal Activity rating is pretty low, which makes sense. I'm pretty sure those movies kind of like seem pretty boring at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway, I'm trying not to freak my way out of here. It's like I'm in this apartment and you just see like every dark corner here. It's like, like, no thanks. Like, but yeah, it's a movie that did that. And my brother, he told me too that this is his favorite since Smile 2. And I would agree that like I also enjoyed Smile 2, and I have the same kind of concerns of like being in the dark almost, just because of the type of imagery and just the nonstop like worrying for what's coming next sort of thing.
You know what's crazy is when I was going through the letterbox comments on this movie, I came across this girl who she's a patron. She has Obsession in her top 4, and she's seen it 14 times.
Holy smokes.
Different comments every time, and most of them she's like, I'm obsessed. Like, insane.
Yeah, we might need to check up on her psyche a little bit.
That's what I was thinking.
She might need a lesson on like, not to be obsessed with things, that could be dangerous. Hopefully she's not tracking down the cast at some point, or just
Yeah.
scary stuff. But alrighty. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think Drayden, have you thought about a movie for next pick?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've been thinking that I want to review this one movie, but currently I can't remember what it is. So I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's all good. Yeah, we'll just go by what's going on, whatever we feel.
It's good.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you have, we really enjoyed this movie, so I'm sure most people that would tune into this already have seen it, or if you haven't, really give it your time of day if you can handle it, of course. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone that doesn't want to feel. Well, what's the name of this website, Drayden? The kids.
Kids in mind.
Yeah, if you are reviewing Kids in Mind, this movie is not for you. But yeah, just beware. But feel free to comment on our post here, share it with friends. Just also follow our social media pages. Every now and then we'll post clips of what we're talking about. And but of course, if you're listening, Adam, we thank you very much for already just engaging in that format. Check out YouTube. We now will have our faces up so you can see exactly in real time how we're reacting. As well as yeah, if you ever need anything, feel free to message us through Instagram or TikTok, cinema.uncivilized, and as well as email is cinemauncivilized@gmail, right? So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, everyone, and we hope you have a very nice week where you're not thinking about very dark imagery in your head.
All right. See you later, guys. Have a good week.
See ya.
You're freaky Nick.